Welcome back. They were the it couple of the 90s. Their lives have been an endless source of fascination. In 1999, JFK Jr. and his wife, Carolyn Bessette-Kennedy, died in that tragic plane crash. And now, more than 25 years later, a brand new TV series is immortalising their story on the small screen.
But American Love Story is already causing some controversy. So joining us live now to break it all down is columnist and author of Ask Not, The Kennedys and Their Women, Maureen Callahan. Maureen,
hey, Maureen.
Great to have you discussing this topic with us this morning. So before we get into the show, tell us, what is it that has been so compelling about their love story?
Well, thank you again for having me back. I love coming on your show. Anytime I get an invitation, I'm so excited.
It is an open invitation.
You know, oh, thank you. I think with John Jr. and Carolyn Bessette, it's dual-fold. It's of course the legacy of the Kennedys and the mystique that she carried as a woman who very much patterned herself spiritually after Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, you know, never complain, never explain. We've never really heard Carolyn's voice. I think there's maybe one tiny clip floating out there, maybe two, where we hear her voice, but otherwise we don't know what she actually sounds like. And they were sort of the last great love story before the birth of the internet, where celebrities began having unmediated relationships with their own audiences. And, you know, you see it right now, like Brad Pitt is still talking about his estrangement with his two kids. I mean, that's something you would never see back in 1997 with JFK Jr. or Carolyn Bessette.
All right, well, let's talk about this show then, this Ryan Murphy show. It's only just started filming, so we haven't seen anything yet, but people are not happy. What's going wrong?
Well, we've seen a tiny bit, which is the actress named Sarah Pidgeon, who has been cast as Carolyn Bessette. We see her right there in her screen test, but there was footage of her shooting on the streets of New York City, sort of rushing to work off the subway, it looked like, and heading to a newsstand. And this does not look good. These look like Temu versions of Carolyn Bessette-Kennedy. The actor who's playing JFK Jr., you know, there's one of his test reels. He pulls out the tiny sunglasses that JFK Jr. used to wear, and he looks more like Ben Affleck as like the blind superhero.
Oh, Daredevil?
In Daredevil.
Yeah.
Than JFK Jr.
Wow.
What's so interesting to me about this is that, I mean, Carolyn in particular, her fashion, her outfits have been meticulously documented and replicated for years. There is no shortage of research to guide the TV producers on how to dress and, you know, devise the looks for these actors. So how did they get it so wrong?
Honestly, it looks like they're shopping like at H&M or Zara or fast fashion. You know, the wardrobe department is shocking me here, because anybody who's paid any attention knows that there are pieces of Carolyn's that are still out there. You know, they just sold, people who were gifted items from her wardrobe after she died. There was a big auction at Sotheby's recently, I believe. You could actually go source those actual pieces, or you could go to the Pradas of the world and ask for repros of those pieces. And the other thing that I think that this is showing us is that minimalism seems easy until you actually try it.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
Carolyn Bessette had real star power. She really did. Because it's hard to replicate.
So true.
You're so right. And there's that mystery of that not knowing about her, which was intrigued us the most. You know, this is Ryan Murphy, though. He has these lavish productions.
Yeah.
He has big budgets, whether it's OJ, whether it's Joan Crawford. So I think he's also a bit online. Do you think he's listening to this backlash? Do you think he will pivot and make improvements?
One can only hope. I mean, Ryan Murphy, I think, is at the point in his career where he probably believes nobody knows better than he does.
Right.
He should take note, though, because Carolyn's former hairdresser, who was cut off by John Jr. after he gave one too many interviews in New York about the buttery chunks he devised for her,
Well.
has risen from the dead to say that the actress playing Carolyn, her blonde is all wrong. All wrong.
Oh.
I mean, you just
Deep cut.
Deep cut.
Never get the blonde wrong. I mean, that's the beginning of the foundations that we built for a character. Okay, John's sister Caroline, and the rest of the Kennedys are notoriously private. We know that. There is a lot of mystery around the Kennedy family. So what do you think they make of this new TV series?
You know, this is an interesting one because the Kennedys have begun losing the ability to control interpretations of them in popular culture. They once did squelch a miniseries called The Kennedys. Caroline and her cousin Maria Shriver went to the network that was going to air it and said, please do not, we do not approve, and they did pull it. But I don't think they have any control over what Ryan Murphy is doing. And actually her son Jack Schlossberg, who, for the morbidly curious, you can go check out his Instagram where he is having meltdowns on the daily, posted a little note to Ryan saying that he should donate to the Kennedy Library because the Kennedys are nothing if not always panhandling for their own charities. So yeah, that's where it stands right now.
It's so interesting because they really are your royal family, and it's so interesting historically where they stand as political figures into pop culture. It's such an extraordinary story that you've obviously deep dived into a lot. What are your thoughts on this show then? Do you hold out hope? Do you think this will be a hit or a flop? I mean, by the way we're all talking about it, I think it might just get enough eyeballs to be a hit.
It might. It could be a hate watch in the vein of And Just Like That, which here in America is the preeminent nationwide hate watch. So Ryan Murphy is always he's always on that bubble of, is it camp or is it is it really good?
Yeah.
Right now the optics look like camp, unintentional camp, but we'll see if he pivots after this hot take the whole culture's had.
Maureen, always amazing to have you
with
insights.
The hot takes. We love it.
We love you here.
Never
Thanks for
mincing
doing
your
it.
words,
Thank you,
which
guys.
is why you have to listen to Maureen's podcast, The
it's
Nerve
essential.
with Maureen Callahan. Check it out. Thank you, Maureen.
Thanks, Maureen.
Always great to chat.